I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I knew it. I love when he does that.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Adrenaline in my soul, something, something, Cody Rhodes. I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
Time. But let me go ahead and tell you.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 489 of the Hoots Podcast here on this Friday, October 31st, 2025. Happy Halloween, my ooses. Woo! I can't do the, spooky voices. I've never been able to do that type of stuff. Anyways, welcome to the program, everybody. It's your truly nefarious bro, Adam, aka Joshie Lopez. Hit me up on X if you like, at the Hoots Podcast. Instagram, I'm at Joshie Lopez Music. And most importantly, if this is your first time, check out the Hoots Podcast. Thank you for giving us a chance. And we are the road to episode 500, which will be our final edition of this project. This is episode 489, so after today, we'll be down to our final 10 episodes. And I just want to say thank you all for being part of this journey in this long road to episode 500. But as we're nearing the end of our journey here on the podcast of Hoots, I just want to say thank you all again from the bottom of my heart. And our home for the Hoots Podcast is Odyssey, so make sure to check it out. The podcast comes to you free of charge anywhere you get your podcasts from. And also hit us up on YouTube right now at the Hoots Podcast. You can find an entire catalog of the show on there. And right now we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're doing pretty well. A large increase of subscribers over the past couple of months. Right now we're at 788, which is awesome. If we could get to 1,000, that'd be even cooler too. But help us out. Anything to help expand the reach of the show and future projects for yours truly, it is deeply appreciated. And as always, you can check out my transcripts and my play-by-play result articles in the results section of WrestlingHeadlines.com. Now, here's the thing: there might need to be some fact-checking on this. I'm sure maybe Patrick Fritz or somebody else in our crew would know this, because you tend to forget some things after doing nearly 500 episodes of a wrestling podcast. But I believe we've done this show on Christmas. We've done this on Thanksgiving before. I remember that for sure. I think outside of Easter, Halloween is probably the only day that we have not recorded a podcast on a holiday. So happy Halloween to everybody that celebrates it. I guess it's another cool one to notch this off the bucket list. So we've done Thanksgiving, Christmas. I think we did a podcast on New Year's, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And on here we are on Halloween. You know my motto, man. I don't care if it's Christmas, Hanukkah, freaking Easter, 4th of July. We've done a show on 4th of July plenty of times over the years. Yeah. This is our first Halloween episode, so very fitting as we're nearing the end of the podcast at Hoots. I hope everybody's doing well. We got a big weekend ahead of us. I'm curious to see what's going to happen tonight in Utah, the home that Michael Jordan built. I'm sorry. No, my bad. The building that Michael Jordan took over. Oh, man. So they're at the Delta Center tonight for SmackDown and Saturday night's main event on Peacock. This is a big weekend for the WWE. We'll get into all this stuff, what happened this week in WWE. We'll preview that special on Peacock tomorrow. I'll be doing that this week in WWE and talk about the NXT PLE that I just did this past Saturday, Halloween Havoc. We got questions from the good brother Chris Zaletta at XTeamZaletta24X on the Twitter machine. We'll have that for the Back Porch Q&A session. Speaking of good brothers and good sisters, I want to open the floor up to you guys. Literally after today, starting next week, we'll be starting our countdown, the last 10 episodes. So I want to leave the floor up to anybody that does listen to this podcast weekly and does check it out. I do appreciate it. Is there anything that you'd like to see, hear? Is there a particular guest you'd like to hear on the podcast as we get closer to 500? This is no joke, man. We got 10 more episodes after this one. So any feedback is deeply appreciated. And I'd love to hear from y'all in the comments section below as well on YouTube. Let me know what predictions you have coming out of Saturday night's main event coming up this tomorrow night in Salt Lake City, Utah. So all that being said, like I said last week, the reality of closure is setting in more as the days go by, and it's getting harder and harder to press that record button without getting a bit emotional about it. But I'm handling it the best I can, and it's just been a fun ride, man. It really has. I'm dealing with a lot of transition right now, and I'm really just battling a lot of big life decisions that I have to make. And I want to say that I've been putting some things off, but over the past couple weeks and stuff, some things have come up where it's just kind of made my mind kind of switch on certain things, and I'm excited for what's to come with this new project when we get to it after 500. But all that being said, I'm excited just to push forward, get this year over with, and move to Florida. I'm just ready to make this a reality now. I don't have any second guesses about it now. I just want to just start putting the wheels forward towards it now, and just get this train on the road. But on the other hand, I have a lot in front of me, and with it being Halloween, I found one of those old pictures I had. There's a young picture of a very young Joshie where he was dressed as Robin for Halloween. I think it was 96. It was when I was a really, really young kid, a young baby, and I looked at that picture and it got me really reflective in a lot of ways, and I was like, if I could have that conversation with that kid that was in that Robin outfit, I would say, what the hell happened to you? You used to be good looking. No, but seriously, I've had a lot of time to be introspective with a lot of things. I would just say that if I had a conversation with my younger self, given everything that's gone on in my life, good, bad, and indifferent, I would just say that be proud of yourself. Don't lose faith. Don't take no for an answer, and keep pushing, man. Keep your head up, man, because life is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy, nor do I want it to be easy, but I'm grateful for everything that's come my way, good, bad, and different, like I said. I'm very grateful for what we've been able to do with this show, good, bad, and indifferent. And, when you're in this part of life where you're unsure about what your future looks like from a professional standpoint, I mean, I'm cognizant of the fact that I'm 31 years old, I'm not married, I don't have any kids. I don't think either of those are going to happen anytime soon. I got the world in front of me, and there's still a lot of stuff to accomplish here, and I just really want to take this stuff one day at a time, and just enjoy the rest of this journey with this podcast here with our final 10 episodes, and I just want to kind of take a look back and think about the lessons that I've learned along the way from doing this show and having this podcast for 10 years and what it's taught me. I think that as we look back on the Hoots Podcast down the road, hopefully people will appreciate what it stood for and stuff like that. Any content creator would hope and dream that you had a profound impact on somebody's enjoyment of whatever niche content you're discussing, right? And no matter what, I just want to say again from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for giving us a chance, because there's so many wrestling podcasts out there, and maybe you and I may not agree with our outlooks and stuff on wrestling and stuff like that, but every day that goes by now, especially recently, that I go on X and I see the debates that go on and the silly ass arguments that go on and the stupid talking points that I hear on these talk shows, and the egos on these podcasters are out of fucking control these days. You know who they are. I don't need to say names. There's a general problem with the space as a whole. I could do a whole episode on that, but really at the end of the day, that'd be futile. It's right in front of you. The egos in this space are out of control. There's far too many people who come on doing these type of shows who think their shit don't stink. And also, there's a lot of people who want to make this their career and are very, very inconsistent when it comes to the content they put out. That's one thing that I will say. No matter what, you could agree with my stance or outlook on wrestling or not, I don't give a shit. But one thing you will not take away from me is that I was authentic, I stayed true to my word, and I did not let somebody dictate my own opinions. And most importantly, I was consistent through lull periods or whatever. I didn't come up with some excuses saying, oh, I need a break from the podcast, oh, I'm not going to do it anymore, blah, 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 blah. Through ups and downs and the cycles of what we go through throughout the entire professional wrestling industry, I still come on here each week and talk about it. And either you're about it or you're not. If you want to make this your career, you got to be consistent with it. There's no excuses for it. Obviously, if it's something related to family issues and stuff like that, obviously, some of that stuff doesn't need to be said. That doesn't have to be explained. Of course, if there's a family issue or whatever important event going on, obviously that takes precedence. I'm just saying, when you're on your own accords and nothing's going on and you have the ability to come on here and do a show, do it. Don't come up with excuses to not do a live stream because, oh, there's a trend towards being anti this company, anti that company. Just do your work. Press record, have fun with this stuff, and get your bag. That's really all I can say, man. But that's enough rambling on for me. When we come back, we'll get into what happened this week in WWE. I'll get you all set up for Saturday night's main event. I'll talk about Halloween Havoc, stuff from Raw and SmackDown this week. And we'll get to your questions for this week's edition of the Back Porch Q&A session. Right here on episode 489 of the Hoots Podcast, as the road to episode 500 continues. Yeet! All right. Welcome back to the podcast of Hoots. This is episode 489 of the Hoots Podcast. Time to talk about what happened this week in WWE. We got some news from one Seth freaking Rollins. For those wondering if we're going to get another ruse from Mr. Rollins. With his current predicament with his shoulder injury. Let's hear what Seth had to say today on Good Morning Football on NFL Network.
Throw the penalty flag, personal foul, get him out of here. It's all Brandt's fault. You put this into the energy. You put this energy into the universe. It's on you. It's all on you.
The challenge for Matt Rollins is that still nobody believes you're hurt. Everyone thinks this is another work. We don't buy it for a second, Rollins.
I could rip this thing off, man, but I'm out, guys. I'm out, guys. 6 months.
No.
My world championship's going to be worn by some schmuck, either Jay Uso or CM Punk. It's awful. It really is the Halloween scaries, guys. But I'm here, man. I'm in.
I'm so happy to see you.
In full bear suit.
This holiday was not complete without you. How did I not see it coming?
How did you not?
All right. Just in case anybody's wondering if stuff's going to pop up out of nowhere and cost Jey Uso and CM Punk the World Heavyweight Championship, we'll get to that in a little bit. We got some stuff to discuss here for this segment this week. We had NXT Halloween Havoc this past Saturday in Prescott Valley, Arizona. These NXT PLEs are fun, man, especially if you watch the week-to-week program of NXT. You really vibe with these PLEs, and NXT is just a fun brand to watch. I get it. There's a lot of wrestling to consume on all fronts. With a bevy of multiple promotions, I get it. We don't have all the time in the world to watch every single wrestling promotion in the world. Maybe I do, because since I'm not married and I don't have any kids, and I'm not in a relationship right now. So but still, I get it. Like, you can't spread your wings out to all wrestling promotions. But I enjoy NXT. It's my favorite show to cover each week, if you want my honest opinion on where things are right now. If I had to put, like, ranking, I put NXT 1, Raw 2, SmackDown 3, for at least for the shows that I cover each week. And I just really enjoyed the brand. I think Vic Joseph is a badass play-by-play guy. I love his work. He's one of the best in the industry, and him and Booker T always crack me up on commentary, so I always enjoy Vic Joseph's commentary. But this PLE, in a nutshell, was fun. It was a good experience. There was some good matches, like Ethan Page against El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. They had the Day of the Dead match for the North American Championship. Very, very physical, good spots, and good storytelling along the way, too. It was, when I first looked at the match, I thought they may have been a chance that the crowd were going to sit on their hands, because they had the lights out during this match for the majority of it, but maybe it was just a good choice of the location for where they were at this PLE in Arizona. That crowd, by the way, in Prescott Valley was awesome, so all y'all that packed that Finley Toyota Center, you guys should give yourself a round of applause, because that was a very good crowd this past Saturday. And they were up on their feet, man. Physical, like I said. Ethan Page got busted open. Dr. Wagner had his mask almost fully ripped off. He started hulking up. The crowd's going crazy behind it. Ethan Page found a way to get that victory with a twisted grin. Some crazy spots in that match. Show kicked off with Javon Evans and Leon Slater against Mr. Iguana and La Parka. Fun tumbling session. I mean, if this match was on an AEW pay-per-view, it probably would have got 6 stars, but that's neither here nor there. That's just another state of my field and how they view wrestling these days. I thought it was a fine match. It was a good tag team opener. The women, as always in NXT, always stand out and shout out. They always stand out and deliver the goods. Congratulations go out to the beautiful Blake Monroe on capturing her first WWE title, which is the NXT Women's North American Championship, defeating Zarya, who's defending the title on behalf of Sol Ruca with her current injury predicament. Sol also had to relinquish her Women's Speed Championship this past week on NXT. They're going to be crowning a new Speed Champion in a couple weeks. Zarya said that she'll be entering that tournament on behalf of Sol as well. But Blake and Zarya had a very good match, and it was about time. Yeah, I think it was in due time for her to become the champion, and I thought it was a good match. And of course, we don't need to state the obvious. Of course, her waterfall game is just on the top tier of elite levels. Like, we get it. But I really enjoyed covering her matches, and I just really enjoyed this character and presentation that we have right now for Blake Monroe. Her matches are good. The vignettes that she has are dope. I love her promos. She's obviously tremendous as a heel. What she calls herself? Something from hell. I forgot what the tagline is, but Blake is just awesome, and I'm really enjoying her work right now. So it was congratulations to her for becoming the new NXT Women's North American Champion. We had new tag champions in Dark State. They defeated the Hardy Boys in a Broken Rules match. Lots of destruction and chaos at ringside. A lot of tables going through. Jeff Hardy's still just an absolute lunatic in 2025. Doing spots that's just inane to think about 25 years later. But Dark State get the victory with a nasty Doomsday Device finisher that went from out from the ring apron, I think through a table if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Dark State got a big victory over the Hardy Boys and their new NXT Tag Team Champions. One of my favorite matches from Halloween Havoc this past Saturday was JC Jane against Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's Championship. If you guys have not seen this match, go out of your way to check it out. I mentioned it before that I just thought this would be interesting clash of styles, and the crowd was into it. Good false finishes along the way. Both the Calling and Fatal Influence got ejected from ringside during the match, and Tatum Paxley ended up beating JC Jane with a big victory, hitting that finisher that she has, the Cemetery Drive. Izzy Dane tried to hit JC with the Women's Championship. JC hit her with a pump kick. Tatum came in from behind and hit the Cemetery Drive of JC Jane to become the champion. Big, shocking decision there. I did not think that it was going to happen, but I'm glad that they made this decision at the time that they did. And even if Tatum Paxley is a transitional champion, it's cool to see her get a moment like that on a PLE. So congratulations to her. Very long overdue moment for her, and I'm just excited for her future and stuff. Tatum is she's really good. Her character is good. Her in-ring stuff has gotten a lot better from the first time I saw her. I think on Level Up, which was like 3 years ago. And she's doing some good stuff. So I was really happy to see her get the title on Saturday. And then Ricky Saints and Trick Williams, just a slugfest, man. And they're beating the shit out of each other. Booker was super, super biased in this match. He was on one in that one, but Ricky Saints got to retain over Trick Williams with a they call it Springboard Tornado DDT. I wanted to call it a Revolution DDT because he calls himself the Revolution, so this might as well call it the Revolution DDT. So he retained over Trick Williams. They got into a big brawl. Trick Williams is all up in his feelings on NXT this past Tuesday. They start brawling all over the Performance Center. And now they're going to be having a last man standing match in a couple weeks, which should be pretty dope. I think it's on the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's going to be November 11th for that particular show. Coming up for NXT, they don't have a PLE, but they got a 2-week special coming up on the CW from the theater at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be November 18th and 25th. Now, I do not know if this is back-to-back weeks at that venue, or they're just going to tape one after the live show on the 18th. So, I will say, there might be a double taping here, but they're doing this Gold Rush special where they're having titles from NXT, Evolve, TNA, and AAA on the line, which I think is pretty cool, actually. I think that's pretty dope. So you have Evolve, NXT, AAA, and TNA titles all in the line at NXT Gold Rush. Blake Monroe will be defending her championship, having her first title defense at that show in the theater at Madison Square Garden. So that's coming up in 3 weeks' time. And there's just a lot of fun stuff to look forward to going into the month of November. So, that's my thoughts on what happened on NXT and Halloween Havoc. Overall, pretty solid show. I'd probably give it like a B+ if you want my opinion on it. But I thought it was a good PLE. And the next one for the PLEs for NXT is going to be NXT Deadline, which is going to be in San Antonio, Texas. So that is going to be pretty dope. Let's talk really quick, some quick hitters from Raw and SmackDown from the previous week. Since the last time I spoke to you guys, Ilya Dragunov had his first title defense against Aleister Black, which was fucking awesome. That was a dope match. Obviously, Aleister was not going to win because he still has unfinished business with Damian Priest. I wonder if it gets to the point where Damian Priest and Aleister Black just have like a buried alive match, because why the hell not? We haven't had one of those in a while. They're both kind of like gothic, emo type of characters. I don't think it would be the worst idea in the world for them to have a buried alive match, to be honest with you. I'm gonna bury you alive. Undertaker passes the baton to Damian Priest for buried alive matches. I'm here for it. I would do that. One of the big things that stood out to me from SmackDown last week was the return of Jade Cargill and her subsequent heel turn on Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany was fighting Kiana James. They had a pretty solid match. After the match, her and Julia were beat up on Tiffany. Jade came in to make the save. You have the old school deal where, okay, let me raise your hand and then I'll clothesline the shit out of you. And then Jade just proceeded to give her the beats. She mollywopped her all over the ringside area. And Jade had this pretty dope looking scar over her right eye, if I'm not mistaken. And she just looks badass. And now she's going to be a heel. We're going to hear from her tonight on SmackDown as I'm recording this on a Friday morning. They're fighting each other now at Saturday night's main event. I'll get into my prediction in just a couple minutes. But I thought this was the right call. The crowd in Tempe, Arizona loved it. And I thought it was a good decision there. I wonder why there wasn't any advancement with the MFTs and the Wyatts last week. I just thought it was like a random tag match that they had with Phoenix and Nakamura. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was a solid match, but I just thought it was a little random for the fact that there was nothing between them for neither faction. So maybe that changes tonight. And like I said earlier, if you want to do something where these two factions are in the war games, I think it'd be cool to have some type of like sit-down conversation with both Dallas and Solo Sikoa, and I think that'd be pretty dope, actually. That's how I would do it to set it up, but that's just my opinion. Carmelo Hayes is kind of going into the babyface direction. Tonight he's fighting Kit Wilson, pretty deadly. Hopefully we can see Elton Prince back from injury soon. Hope he's recovering from his injury. But yeah, he said last week to Kathy Kelly that he said like these are even now with him and Miz. They're not. We all know the Miz. Yeah, this is far from over. So I have a good feeling the Miz is going to beat up on Carmelo Hayes tonight, and it's going to be a nasty attack. So be on the lookout for that. What else? Let's see. Try to remember really quick from SmackDown. Cody again. Now they're making the poor guy my freaking mean now, where he's like, enough. So Cody was calling out Drew. He's ready to fight, and Drew's like, hey, guess what? At Saturday night's main event, I'm going to finish my story now. That led into Drew talking more smack about the bloodline. Jimmy Uso came out. He was there earlier talking to Cody in the back because he was here to check up on the condition on Jacob Fatu. And that ended up leading to Drew McIntyre and Jimmy Uso having a no disqualification match. Pretty solid main event there. Drew McIntyre won. Drew also dropped Cody with a Claymore after the match was over to go off the air for this past Friday. So that was SmackDown. Then we go to Raw this past Monday. Raw was in Anaheim, California, the Pond, the home of WrestleMania 2000. That's correct. The Triangle ladder match. You guys remember that one? Hardy's, Dudley's, and Edge and Christian, the prelude to the TLC match. tremendous match there and moment. Some big moments there in the Anaheim Pond over the years. I remember there was like a big talking segment with CM Punk and Big Johnny after a Raw one year, and Mick Foley was like a special guest referee. I think it was something where like CM Punk was fighting either Dolph Ziggler or somebody else for the title, and anyways, Mick Foley was a special guest referee, and then Big Johnny attacked Mick Foley after the match was over because CM Punk just publicly berated him, and he got embarrassed, so he attacked Mick Foley after the fact. He's like, "You're damn right, I'm gonna screw CM Punk." So this is like right before the Royal Rumble. It was that 2012 Royal Rumble. Big Johnny ended up being the special guest referee. We all remember that feud with CM Punk and John Laurinaitis. But Punk kicked off the show with Jey Uso. Punk basically was mocking Jey Uso and doing the replay stuff with the entrance. Just a side note. Okay, I get it. A lot of you have ADHD. I get it. A lot of people have low attention spans, and you don't like the fact that the show goes on for 10 minutes without a word being said, or the super long entrances, or the fact that Jey Uso replays his entrance. So, what is it? Do we not play to the crowd because we don't want to upset the IWC and their low attention spans? Or B, the crowd, again, I just don't get it. It's like, what's more important, satisfying a bunch of morose motherfuckers on X, or letting the crowd who's actually there to pay top dollar to go to these events and have a good time at these shows? What's the problem with Jey Uso replaying his entrance? I don't care how long it takes. The crowd is there having a good time. Shouldn't that matter? Oh, I'm a live streamer, and it's going on for 10 minutes, and the entrance is going too long. Get over yourself. Seriously, get over yourself. I like the stuff with Punk and Jay. We didn't have to have the predictable brawl before a big title match where it's random. Like, okay, you get Punk and Jay fighting for the title. Doesn't mean they have to get into a brawl, but I thought Punk offered some good questions. How far are you willing to go? He's not interested in fighting Little Roman, you know. He's interested in fighting main event Jey Uso. And I like that segment. I thought it was good. Some of the matches that stood out to me from Raw this week was Penta and Rusev. Very good stuff there. That ended up being a no contest because Dominic made a call to Grande Americano. Him and the Los Americanos ended up attacking both Rusev and Penta. That ended up calling off the match. Anna Pierce told Dominic now that he has to put his title against both Rusev and Penta in a triple threat match at Saturday night's main event due to those actions. I love how Dominic likes to play stupid at times. Oh, I had nothing to do with it. Right. Again, anytime I see Nikki Bella on my TV screen, that's a good thing. No further comment there. What else? Sheamus and JD McDonough, barn burner. I'm glad that we're getting more JD McDonough matches on TV as the weeks go by. All for that. Sheamus is declaring an Irish Civil War with Finn Balor, so we'll see Sheamus and Finn Balor soon. That's going to be pretty dope. I'm all for it. If this is something where this leads for maybe Sheamus to get a shot at the IC title too, him against Dominic Mysterio would be pretty cool too. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's the direction that's going to go, but we'll see. Eventually we'll get to like Dominic Mysterio fighting Finn Balor, but does that grudge feud need the title? That's my question, because I don't think so. I think sooner or later Dominic is going to lose the Intercontinental Championship. It just depends on who's it going to be first. Is it going to be Sheamus? Is it going to be Penta? Or is it going to be Rusev? One of those three guys is taking that title off of Dominic Mysterio very soon. Just throwing that out there. All right. What else? We had the main event, of course. The women's tag team title match was fucking awesome. Charlotte and Alexa beating Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Very, very good match for the main event. Dope match. I'd love to see that run back sometime, too. So now the Kabuki Warriors are added to this mix. Slowly but surely, we're getting some good stuff out of the women's tag team titles, but I enjoyed the match, and it was. I thought the main event was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but they made the best out of it, and had the Kabuki Warriors attack them after the match, kind of lead up to. This is something where these teams are going to fight each other at Survivor Series, it's like Charlotte and Alexa against Asuka and Kairi at Survivor Series. I wouldn't mind that, but there's other things to look out for. I mean, we still are undecided on what's going on with the women's war games. That's what makes tomorrow night very interesting, because we got to start getting ready for war games and Survivor Series after Saturday night's main event tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my thoughts from Raw. Tomorrow night, let's get into it. Let's make some preview predictions for Saturday night's main event. I'll be covering the show for WrestlingHeadlines.com. Don't forget now, the show will be airing at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, which makes it 6 here in Chicago. If you live anywhere else, figure it out yourself. The show's going to be on Peacock. I'm curious to see how the layout of that show's going to be compared to how it was on NBC. But I'm excited for tomorrow night. Some wrestling to transcribe. 4 matches on the show. You know, I see a lot of people think that we need to have multiple title changes on the show. I don't know if I agree or disagree with that take. It would be nice to have a title change. Regardless, you know, there's a lot of things about, the Vision's going to come in and ruin the CM Punk Jey Uso match. Look, I would not be surprised by that. I wouldn't be surprised if Paul Heyman made a call to Brock Lesnar to attack CM Punk and Jey Uso and leave it there. That's how you get Brock inserted to the War Games scenario. Something that nobody else has brought up yet. Everybody's just thinking, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are going to get involved in the match. They might. But here's one thing I am certain. One way or another, we're going to find out who the World Heavyweight Champion is going to be on Saturday. I do think we'll get a decisive winner, but there's a lot of different scenarios, and that's what makes tomorrow night interesting, because I think a lot of what will happen tomorrow will kind of give us a little bit of a picture of what's to come down the road for Survivor Series in the next couple weeks of programming, and I think it's going to be a good show. So, Dominic, Rusev, and Penta for the IC titles, a triple threat match. I got Dominic retaining in that one. That should be a physical match. Tiffany Stratton against Jade Cargill for the Women's Championship. I got Jade Cargill beating Tiffany Stratton. I think Tiffany and Jade will get into a brawl tonight on SmackDown, and then Tiffany gets on top for that one. But I think Jade with the switch, and Tiffany's had a very long title reign this year, and it's just the timing is right for this, for Jade Cargill to become the champion. So I'm gonna go with Jade in that one. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the undisputed title. This one, here's the thing: you got 2 world title matches where I'm undecisive of who the winner's gonna be. Do you do 2 non-finishes just to drag both title matches into Survivor Series? I don't know. That's the thing. I'm still going to go with the safe bet, and I'll go with Cody Rhodes to beat Drew McIntyre. I know a lot of people want Drew McIntyre to be the champion, but I just don't see it happening right now. I just don't. So I'll go with Cody in that one, and then the last one here, CM Punk and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm also going to go with Punk here. I just think, for me, I think Jimmy Uso is going to cost his brother a little bit of a payback for what happened on Raw the prior week, not this past week's Raw. So I got to see a Punk walking out of Utah tomorrow night with the World Heavyweight Championship. Don't forget, I'll be covering that show tomorrow at 6 at WrestlingHeadlines.com. The show will be on Peacock. I don't think they're calling it a pay-per-view, but it's on Peacock, so go check it out. And that's Saturday night's main event coming up tomorrow night. Also, don't forget, we got War Games coming up on the 29th in San Diego, where the Dodgers play. But I don't know. That is what happened this week in WWE. We'll come back from our last break here. We'll answer your questions for this week's edition of the Back Porch Q&A session right here on episode 489 of the Hoots Podcast. We'll be right back. All right. Well, that's something to do here for the podcast of Hoots this week. Time to answer your questions for the Back Porch Q&A session right here on the on the Hoots Podcast. Excuse me, episode 489. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Throw up the X for the good brother Chris Saletta at XScene24X on the Twitter machine. He says, "What up, Boost? Here's some questions in the Q&A this week. Which match are you looking forward to the most for Saturday night's main event?" Good question. I'm stuck between a couple here, but I think for me, from a pure fan standpoint and transcription point of view, I'm going to go with CM Punk and Jey Uso. Any title changes on Saturday, I think Jade Cargill becomes the new women's champion, and I think CM Punk becomes the world heavyweight champion. So we get 2 title changes. Are we on the verge of a Gunther return? Yes. I believe we are. I'm going to throw a curveball here. Everybody's like, oh, who's Cody going to fight for the championship if he beats Drew McIntyre? He doesn't have any other opponents. Oh. I'm just throwing it out there. I think sooner or later we're going to have a program with Cody and Gunther. Just be on the lookout for that. Just throwing it out there. Thoughts on Aleister Black and Zelina Vega finally come together. Awesome. Long overdue. What do you think is the next program involvement for Brock Lesnar? Well, we'll see if he pops up tomorrow at Saturday night's main event. If that's the case, he'll be at Survivor Series. If not, we'll see Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, and maybe we get Brock and Gunther at WrestleMania this year. Where are you with this El Grande Americano company? Over it? I love it. It's goofy. He's very, very over in Mexico. I've always been a fan of Luke Kaiser and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates, and the fact they're on TV. All support for me on that end. Thoughts on NXT Gold Rush? I love the concept, and I'm curious to see what the top matches are going to be. I'm excited. The fact that they're doing it at the theater in Madison Square Garden again. They had a fun show for that Roadblock special. And I don't think this will be any different, so I'm looking forward to it. Who takes the women's IC title off of Becky Lynch? Man, that's a great question. Man. I would love for Natty to take the title off of Becky, to be honest with you. But I think it would probably be AJ Lee, to be honest with you. What matches would you like to see out of AJ Styles over the next year in his final year? Great question. Well, let's see him run it back with Randy Orton. Let's see him run it back with Shinsuke Nakamura. Maybe something with him and Sami Zayn would be pretty cool. I think it'd be cool for AJ to go back to SmackDown for his final year. With that being the AJ said that SmackDown was the house that AJ Styles built, right? So I think him on SmackDown being very good. AJ Styles and Aleister Black. Maybe have him fight Cody one more time. yeah, those are the ones coming off the top of my head. Obviously, it would be cool to have a AJ Styles, CM Punk one-on-one singles match. And I think we might get that, but we'll have to see where it goes from there. But those are the ones off the top of my head for sure. Do you think we'll eventually see Leon Slater in WWE full-time down the road? Yes. Yes, I believe we will. And lastly, how would you grade this recent /seamless Hardy Boys run? Well, I would not say that this is the end of the Hardys in WWE. I think they'll be back soon, in a couple months. But if you want my letter grade for this, I'll probably go with a B+, A-. They did a lot of good work at NXT, and I enjoyed seeing them on these big shows and stuff. They did a lot of good stuff for the NXT brand, and I think we're far from over. I don't think this is the last run for the Hardys in WWE, so that's my answer to that. But on the note, I want to thank Chris for the wonderful questions this week. As always, he does a great job. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at xteens24x on the Twitter machine. If you want to participate in the Back Porch Q&A session, all you have to do is hit me up at Twitter at the Hoots Podcast or the Hoots Podcast at gmail.com. But on that note, we're going to say goodbye for this week's edition of the Hoots Podcast. I want to make sure that all of you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy Saturday night's main event. Make sure to check out all my coverage of the wrestling shows in the results section of WrestlingHeadlines.com and my own place, ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. Don't forget to hit the like button and smash the subscribe button on YouTube. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Right now we're at 788 subscribers, which is pretty cool. And also, don't forget to check out our podcast. Comes up free of charge anywhere you get your podcast from. The home of the Hoots Podcast is Odyssey. And you can hit me up on X if you like at the Hoots Podcast. I'm on Instagram at Joshie Lopez Music. And on that note, one last thing, and most importantly, be the authentic product that is yourself. Remember, nobody dictates the pace of your life but yourself and the man upstairs. I'm Joshie. This has been episode 489 of the Hoots Podcast. The road to episode 500 will continue, and we have 10 more episodes left. I love all of you. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to y'all next week. Yeet!
Bye-bye, bitch.